Howdy, folks. I'm Polybius, the god of polyester.
I'm Amber.
And here's some delicate polyester threads. Amber looks weirded out by that.
I am constantly weirded out when I'm in your presence.
Fun fact, Polybius was the Greek god of polyester, and he did all kinds of great miracles with polyester. Like, he made Zeus a pretty fancy suit, and Zeus looked fly. So,
Are we not going to mention the fact that polyester was not invented in
Amber,
Greek days?
Amber, Amber, Amber. He was the god of polyester. It doesn't matter if it was invented or not. Our first letter is titled, Am I a jerk for refusing to buy my husband an expensive car even though I have the money? My husband is a 35-year-old male, and I'm a 30-year-old female. And we've been married for the past 10 years, and we have 5 amazing daughters together. Because of that, I dropped out of college to be a stay at home mom for the past 10 years when we had our oldest daughter. My husband is the breadwinner, and I take care of all of the chores and the childcare. While my husband earns quite a bit of money, which allows us to live comfortably, he is also obsessed with budgeting, and therefore I only have enough for household expenses. Well, for the past 5 years, I've been working on a series of books. I've been writing everywhere I could, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, and while I sacrificed a lot of sleep, I have managed to finish my series, unbeknownst to my husband. I kept it a secret because he always considered it a waste of time. It was tough, but I managed to get an agent and was incredibly lucky to get a deal and have my series published. I was ecstatic. And when they told me how big my advance would be, I almost fainted. It's much more than I expected for a first time deal. It's in the high 5 digits. I haven't told my husband yet, and how I had to borrow money from my sister to get an accountant. Ideally, I want that money saved up should something bad happen, because I honestly don't know the details of our home finances or for our kids' futures. Whatever will be needed. Plus, I would love to have some spending money without asking my husband Greg. However, Greg has found my contract, and now he is demanding that I give him a new car for Christmas. A very expensive new car, which would cost a majority of my advance. I politely refused, saying that he didn't need a car that expensive and that the money was supposed to be saved up. I tried to explain my position, but he wouldn't have it. He basically called me a jerk without actually using the word. He said that because he supported me all these years, I owe him, and without him and his money, I wouldn't be where I am now. He told me that I either buy him a car or I have to start paying for household expenses half and half. The thing is this, I would still be a stay at home mom. I don't know if my book will be a success. For all I know, this will be the only money that I will ever get from my book deal because it'll flop. Am I the jerk for not wanting to buy my husband a car even though I have the money? And there are some relevant comments here. I'm not going to read these comments because I don't really feel like they add too much, but I will read OP's replies. So OP replies, I wanted to work, but he insisted that I stay at home as a mom. I was going to come back to work when all of our kids are in school, but he kept wanting more and more children, which kept pushing me further from coming back to work. I never wanted to be a stay at home mom, but it was his dream, and with so many kids, it was only reasonable. I don't have access to our main account. I don't even know how much he earns. I only thought it's fair that I kept my money aside because I know very well that he has his own savings account separate to our main money. And Lonely Clock 3863 says, not the jerk. Yeah, it may be his dream gift, but is it practical? Is it going to benefit the family in any way down the road? Yes, he supported you during your time as a stay at home mom, but now him demanding you buy him an expensive car isn't the way to go about it. And OP replies, no, he doesn't need it. He got a new car a year ago, and it's perfectly fine. A new car a year ago, folks. So this next one, I don't think that their advice was very good, so we're gonna skip it.
Mm-hmm.
And OP replies, honestly, I only borrowed money because he wouldn't give me money for an accountant even though I paid it back. He just thinks it's silly and would say that he can take care of the money. This is exactly what he said when I wanted an accountant to manage my inheritance years ago. So he's also withholding her inheritance, folks. All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. Now, before we get into it, first of all, congratulations on your book deal, OP.
Yeah.
That is phenomenal. I'm sure it must have taken so much hard work and dedication
Yeah.
to get to this point.
Especially with 5 kids?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
So be very proud of your accomplishment. Now, yeah, you're 100% not the jerk here, and what is going on with your husband is financial abuse.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
If he wants a new car now and he doesn't need one, it's because he doesn't want you to have that money.
That's exactly it. Is he wants to make sure that you don't have resources so you can't leave him and
Yeah.
can't have any independence. That's been his entire aim this entire time. And
Yeah.
you are kind of like, he has made it so you are trapped. You don't know how much money your household has.
Yeah.
You don't know if your children's futures are provided for.
No.
You literally just don't know anything, don't have any resources.
Yeah, this is textbook definition of financial abuse. There's no way that this isn't. And OP, you need to reach out to a trusted family member, a trusted friend, to some kind of domestic abuse resource, and figure out how you can get out of this situation, because this isn't a healthy, loving relationship. He's not supporting you. He's treating you like a maid and a live-in sitter, essentially.
Yeah, I would say like make sure to keep this money sheltered from him so
Yeah.
he cannot have access to it, so you have a safety net.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, only you know your situation well enough, but if you have the ability to, I definitely recommend talking to someone at a domestic violence resource center, whether or not you're in a position to leave him.
Yeah, yeah.
It is good to see what your options are, and there are a lot of, if you're in the US, the hotline.org
Mm-hmm.
is confidential. Like they'll keep all your information confidential. They have like escapes, so if you need to get off real quick, you can. Um, and yeah, your sister lent you some money. You know, is it possible that you and the kids might be able to stay with her for a
Yeah.
little while, or you know, have her help you come up with a safety plan or something like that?
Yeah, but it's really clear to me the way that OP's written this that every step of the way he's really just trying to control her more and more.
Yep.
Like they agreed that she would be able to go back to work, but she never was able to go back to work. He just kept pushing her to have more and more kids. She never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. He overrided and superseded her will on that.
And well, and he hasn't supported her dream
Yeah.
of writing books at all.
Well,
She's
that's
had to
because
hide it from him.
yeah, she's had to hide it from him because he doesn't want her to. He wants her to be solely dependent on him.
Exactly.
And that's really the scary part of this is OP is, of course, it's very difficult sometimes to see when you're in abusive relationships. And I think you really just have to trust that in this particular case, it really is an abusive relationship. So, anyhow, I wish you the best of luck here and congratulations on the book. So, take care and good luck. All right, folks, our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Buying Back Gifts for Our Child That My Wife Had Returned Because of Bad Behavior? We have 3 kids. First one is my niece, wife's sister. She's 12. Middle one is 10. She's my bonus daughter. And the youngest one is 6. She is biologically mine with my wife. This is about the middle child, though. With only a week before Christmas break, she was suspended along with 2 classmates. My wife at home with our youngest asked me to handle it. This was her first suspension. She was in the principal's office when I arrived and was obviously scared. She not only truthfully stated her involvement, but took responsibility for her actions by acknowledging that she was wrong. I was proud of her for doing that. This is what we taught our children. But that didn't let her off the hook. On the way home, I told her that this suspension doesn't mean a vacation. She's to do her schoolwork and regular chores, no video games, and I took her phone away. For this, the full duration of the suspension, since they basically suspended her for the remainder of the semester. When I got home, I discussed everything with my wife. She said the punishment was too weak. I reminded her that she told me to handle it, which I did. Anything harsher would make her want to lie the next time to protect herself. My wife felt that it was necessary to add punishment. She went through her gifts and returned basically everything. She kept the necessities like clothes and shoes. She didn't even bother to tell me until she had made the returns. It would have ruined Christmas, honestly, mine too, and probably the other kids seeing her so sad. So I bought everything back, minus one item that I'm still trying to find since it's sold out everywhere. I brought the gifts home and told my wife that it's not right to take her Christmas away. She's just a child and children make stupid choices all the time. After all, the kid knows what she did was wrong. She didn't really say anything, just appeared upset. The next day, I came home to my dresser, nightstand, and my side of the closet and toolboxes all ransacked. I then caught her going through my truck, looking for the receipts. Honestly, I was mad. The fact that she didn't even ask for the receipt, but tried to find them behind my back to yet again return everything. Plus, the disrespect of going through my stuff like that and leaving a mess. I have never done that to her. I probably should have just walked away to cool off, but instead I ripped into her, which caused a huge fight. This kid isn't one to get in trouble. This is the first big thing, and I feel like my wife is overreacting. My niece has done far worse and basically had the same consequence that I gave my daughter. I don't think that it's fair. My wife thinks that I'm undermining her by rebuying the gifts. She says that the consequences I gave aren't enough to teach a lesson. Her idea of snatching Christmas away, she believes will send a message. Am I the jerk for rebuying the gifts? All right, folks. What do you think, jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. And first of all, the thing that the daughter did was she watched some friends set off firecrackers in the bathroom.
Yeah, they flushed some firecrackers down the toilet, and as you know, that's problematic.
I think in general, like, it's really a bad idea to take away kids' Christmas presents as a form of punishment. And for an offense like this, like, OP's punishment seemed perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, the punishment kind of matched the crime. It was, you can't have any video games, you can't have your phone, and so she wouldn't be able to talk to her friends, and her friends are what largely led her to this situation anyways. So I don't really feel like that was a super like bad punishment. And she's also going to be doing all her schoolwork and whatnot.
Yeah, now OP's wife went behind his back not once but twice with returning the gifts. Like, I understand that, like, as parents, they should work this out
They
together.
should, yeah, that's the biggest problem I have here is they should have worked this out together.
But what do you do when one partner has an unreasonable idea? I just don't see. Like, I think OP's punishment was perfectly appropriate, and like,
The thing is, like, if she wanted input on the punishment, then she should have originally said that she wanted to have this be a punishment that she doled out.
mhm.
They're clearly on completely different pages here. And I think since they are on such different pages, that at this point in time, they really need to have a third party moderator.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is the thing. Is like, if you two cannot agree on consequences for your children, you really need to find someone else to mediate it.
Yeah.
And on again, honestly, I think your wife is being ridiculous. She is going to not teach the lesson that she thinks she's going to treat. She's going to traumatize your
Yeah.
daughter, because like seeing everyone else get presents and not get anything herself, and you're right, like, it's going to lead her to be more likely to hide and not tell the truth.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this might have the opposite effect. It sounds like she's very remorseful. It sounds like she made a stupid mistake. I do think that you two need to work together to come up with reasonable punishments. It is difficult because her idea of reasonable and your idea of reasonable are so far apart that it's just not going to work. You two are, in each other's way at this point in time, and that's not a good place to be, and that isn't the signs of a healthy relationship,
Yeah.
at least in this one particular capacity.
Well, and my other issue is that the wife seems to be playing favorites. Like, she has inconsistent punishments for the
That, yeah,
children.
that also seems a bit problematic.
And that's not okay. Like, you need to have a standard set of consequences for any of the kids, regardless.
Yeah.
And so the way she's treating the niece, and I know she's like, well, the niece had a rough home life, but that doesn't mean, like, she lives under your roof now.
Hmm.
All your kids have to follow the same set of rules, and that doesn't mean be draconian.
Yeah.
Like, if she needs therapy, if she needs extra help, like, that's all well and good, but don't, like, just lay down the hammer on the other kids. That's gonna set up resentment,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so.
Yeah, so anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Not Counting Raisins? Okay, so I'm a 30-year-old female, and I make my husband a 30-year-old male's breakfast and lunch every night so he can bring it to work the next day. He goes to the gym a lot and is trying to be more health conscious. We have always had an issue with making his breakfast. He literally only eats plain oats with raisins. Sometimes I'll spice it up with some cinnamon so it's not dog food. He always has a complaint. There's either not enough water, sometimes it's too much oats, and lately he wants me to count out exactly 12 raisins because that's the serving suggestion. I'm pregnant, I work on my feet, and honestly am not in the mood to count out 12 raisins every night. I think it's asking me a little much, and it's not like he'll make his own breakfast. He counted the amount this morning and texted me, freaking out that there were 18 raisins in his oatmeal. Am I the jerk for not counting raisins? All right, folks, what do you think, jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. It's time your husband learned to make his own
Yeah,
breakfast.
if your husband is constantly complaining about his own breakfast and his own lunch, then he needs it's about like his breakfast and lunch, then he needs to make his own breakfast.
Exactly. Like, and you're pregnant, you're working, like
Mhm.
it's not like you're sitting around doing nothing all day.
Yeah.
And like, but even if you were a stay-at-home mom, like, or stay-at-home wife, and he was being this level of ridiculous, this level of ridiculous, I'd say don't make his meals anymore. This is like ridiculous no matter what. Like, he's an adult, he can make his own food, and if he doesn't, if he just is like, oh, I'm hungry, I'm starving because you didn't make my breakfast, it's on him. He can
Yeah.
buy something.
Well, and some of this too, I could understand if this was closer to something like an OCD issue, but it sounds like in the past he's had more or less raisins. But in this particular case, now he wants 12 raisins exactly because it's a serving size. And serving size don't mean a whole lot, by the way. But I think that this is, if he has some kind of disorder like OCD, then that's something that certainly needs to be addressed between him and his therapist. But
But he still can prepare his own
he
breakfast
can
in that
still,
case.
yeah, exactly. So I don't think that you're the jerk, OP. I think your husband needs to figure this out on his own, quite frankly. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, thanks to Amber, and she's got a joke.
What always stays hot even if you put it in the refrigerator?
The word hot. Oh,
Mm.
oh, book, I got you. You know what, book? You know what, book? I'm going to accept that as a valid answer because of all the ridiculous, the nonsensical answers that you've come up with. So I can have a ridiculous, nonsensical one every once in a while, too. So the word hot stays hot if you put it in the refrigerator. Thank you very much.
You want my answer or the book's answer?
No. Yo, yes, both.
Okay.
Simultaneously. You have to say them both at the same
No.
time.
So the book says mustard, which I find like some mustards are hot, but not all mustards, like honey mustard. So I don't accept their answer. My answer was a jalapeno
A jalapeno does stay hot if you put it in the refrigerator.
or a ghost pepper.
A ghost pepper, you know, when ghosts come out, it tends to get chilly. So what happens when a ghost pepper comes out? Does it get hot or cold in the room? Let me know what you
A
folks think.
ghost
A
pepper.
ghost pepper, because like in the movies, whenever a ghost enters the room, it's like you get those like chill down your spine, and you like the room gets cold, and some people like have the fog coming out of their breath, and you're like, oh, this must mean that there's a spooky ghost. But maybe for ghost peppers, it just stays lukewarm in the room.
And then you see the little pepper going, ooh.
Yes, you get the benefit of both. It's the friendliest climate friendly ghost ever, folks. If you get a ghost pepper, it stays exactly 70 degrees Celsius in your room.
Fahrenheit, you mean?
Fahrenheit. Yeah. Oh, other way, it's not so comfortable. Congratulations, that ghost pepper just made things a little uncomfortable. Oh my goodness. Thank you, ghost pepper. Thank you. And I have Mega Mint. But also, I wanted to take a moment and wish Morgan a speedy recovery. Apparently, she was having some medical troubles, so I hope you're doing a lot better now, Morgan. And just get your rest and take care. Amber and I are thinking about you. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you're all having a great holiday week so
And
far
a great Friday,
and
Junior.
a great Friday Junior. I hope it's a fantabulous Friday Junior. And I also wanted to say that we had originally scheduled this live stream for the 31st of December, which is the new year. So if you want to do a New Year's stream with us again this year, feel free to jump on the 31st. It's not Friday,
No.
but it's close enough. So thanks so much for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
All right, folks. Our next letter is titled "Am I the jerk for buying back gifts from our child?" From our child.